welcome back. We're going to do another technique with the new product Clear Faux Glaze from Vintage Market Design Furniture Paint, and we're going to do marble. Now, this is kind of advanced. This is a really fun technique to do. What I used to like to do when I was a full-time decorative painter is go to the local rock houses, if you will, granite distributors. In our area, Arizona Tile is one of them. They have a huge yard in the back. You have to put a hard hat on and go through, and they have great big slabs, and you can get samples that are like 4 by 4 inches, and they're amazing for duplicating a natural granite or marble technique. And it's very helpful to also go to YouTube and pull up black marble with white veins and get the images for it. You'll get 30 different images that you can use to see what the marble looks like and how the veins are and how the drifts are. And the big thing to remember is it's done from fracturing. Okay, so you have to think of almost like glass breaking and fracture lines. That's what it looks like. You don't want it to be too clean, too even. It has to look like it is coming from nature. I started out with this board with 2 coats of Oxford. Did not have to do the block it on here because the Oxford is one of the few colors in the line that actually acts as a blocking agent to tannins. I have a pine board, so it wouldn't have been an issue, but even if I had mahogany or cherry or red oak, I could do this Oxford on top and not have to worry about it because this color is awesome. It does block the tannins. And then I have the I think it's R95950 brush from Vintage Market Design. It's a really teeny little brush with a nice rubber handle that is easy to hold on to, and it's got probably about 20 hairs in it. And this is what I like to use for doing veining. A lot of people do feathers. That's kind of the old European technique, to take a feather and get the veins, but I don't have chickens in my backyard, so I use the brush. And what I did was go ahead and make myself a beginning glaze with the Faux Glaze Clear, 3 spoonfuls of that and 1 spoonful of lace because I want to have white veins on my black background. And I'm going to do that for the veins, and then I'm going to dilute it just a little bit more with another spoonful of the clear to get my drifts. So I always keep a rag nearby to offload my brush because I don't want my brush to get goopy. I'm going to make sure there's not too much in it. And the best thing you can do when you're doing this is do it with your left hand, because you do not, or if you're right-handed or left-handed, do it with your right hand. You don't want to have too steady of a hand, because if you look at real marble, the veins on it are kind of sketchy and wavery, and it's not a straight line. So I'm going to do it with my left hand. And you want to vary the pressure, and I'm rolling the brush, lifting it, making it move back and forth so it's not a straight line. And again, I'm going to dip into the lace glaze, and I've got a nice little gob of paint here, so I'm going to use that to create a second line. Let me get a little bit more paint. It's always better to err on the side of not enough paint than too much. And you can see when you're doing it with the hand that you don't usually use to write with, you get a nice wavy line, which is what we want. And it's important not to have too many veins. If you look at natural marble, it's not all veins. There's a couple going through. It's like God has a good eye and doesn't do too many. You want to not make them all parallel either. So it's almost like something landed on this and the lines are going from the point of impact. I've got kind of a natural place here. And I'll probably do one, and since I'm doing just the final details, I'm going to go ahead and do it with my right hand. But see when you roll the brush, how you get that nice look? Just back and forth. Roll it instead of laying it down and doing a straight line. That's probably all I would do for the drifts. I mean for the veins. I don't want it to be too veiny because then it looks fake. So what I'm going to do for the drift is dilute my glaze. I have 75% clear to 25% lace. Now I'm going to actually add 3 more parts of clear. So I've got 6 to 1 now. And my glaze is going to be a lot more translucent and transparent. And for the drift, I don't want to do it with my hand because I don't want it to look like it's fakey. So what I like to do is take something like a piece of plastic. These are just baggies that I've cut open. You also can do saran wrap. And I'm going to take my glaze and just brush it on the plastic. And not very much, just a really light coat. Then I'm going to take my dry rag, pounce some of that off so it's almost dry. Then I'm going to take it and wrinkle it up so I've got a couple layers. And I'm going to do it the same direction that I've got my veins. And lay it down. And again, don't overdo it. That's all I would do. I'm going to take the brush that we've been using to pounce, and it's one of the Vintage Market Design brushes. It's a nice big fat brush. And I'm just going to go against the grain. So I did the drift like this, so I'm going to go sideways to that to mar it up a little bit so that it's not too strong. Actually, I think I probably could maybe cheat and do one more little drift up here. See if I can get the right side of the plastic. There we go. That's the easiest way to do it though, because it's almost random, just like the real marble is, and you don't have much control over it. This is one of the finishes that I would do the glossy or semi-gloss clear coat over to give it a really pretty shiny look like marble would have. I just did a table in my store last week with this. Did the top like this and did the bottom with Antique and Rustica Deluxe and Crackle It and Garden Gate Glaze. Bam, 3 days it went out the door. So give it a try, it's fun.